Hey, what up, y'all? It's your boy Scoob, and welcome to Spider's Diecast. Thank you so much for being here with me today. So yeah, I got this in this morning. Bam, there you go. This is another one of my Tomica Limited Vintage Ferraris. But this time, this is the Ferrari BB512i. BB standing for Berlinetta Boxer. Berlinetta in Italian basically stands for little sedan. That's what they say. Basically a two-door coupe. But the Boxer, some of y'all know this already. It just means that it's got a Boxer engine. How the pistons, lay flat on their sides. So basically, that's that. We're going to get into that a little bit later on in the video. But if you were wondering, of course, it has a flat 12 engine in there. Being a Boxer. Not a V12, but a flat 12. Much like the Ferrari Testarossa that came after it. This car just happened to be the predecessor to the Testarossa. The Testarossa is really known more for being, an 80s, 80s, early 90s Ferrari. This one, it made its debut in the 70s. Yeah, and all throughout the early 80s. But anyway, we're just going to get into the nitty gritty of things, the deets. So, all right, without further ado, this is going to be the nice looking side view. Pretty awesome. Nice looking wheels. And of course, I'd say almost every Tomica Limited Vintage that I know of, they have the working suspension in there as well. So yeah, that's the thing I like about, the Tomica Limited Vintage cars. They put that suspension in there without making it sit too high off the ground. So I definitely appreciate that part. So yeah, there's the lights. The pop-ups are going to be way back in the back with these extra, lights right around it. Nice looking grille. The classic Ferrari grille with the prancing horse smack dab in the middle. And oh yeah, can't forget these little Ferrari badges right there with a little vintage right there in silver. Pretty nice. And you got the little interior with the black dash with nice looking light tan interior bits, especially them seats and everything else. Pretty nice. Of course, where'd that toothpick go? Oh yeah, I got a proper toothpick now to get a little in-depth with these details. You got the keyhole right there in silver. Got the black trim. I kind of like, the full. These came in two different, versions. The Boxers. This one's one of the later ones, the 512i. Most of these are going to be full body colored with the black line between it. I prefer this over, the earlier ones with the two tones. The color with the black on the bottom. That's how they originally came. But, you know, I definitely prefer this. Just a solid, you know, red. But yeah, you got these, got the Pininfarina badge right there. It's just, ain't no use you're trying to read that. You know, it's just too small anyway. But, you know, you don't have one right there on the left side. Yeah, but that's how they came, you know, in real life. So, yeah, no big deal. You know, yeah, you got the markers right there, the signal markers in the front in orange. And then we finally moved things over to the rear end where you got some well-defined taillights. Some nice looking, equally as well-defined, what you call them, exhaust tips. Yeah, pretty nice. Everything else that needs to be blacked out is indeed blacked out. Very nicely, of course. A blank license plate, but you know, that's okay. It's all about these other thingamajiggies right here in the rear. And you got the 512, you got the BB 512I logo, badge right there on the left. So yeah, and then another Ferrari badge in Ferrari's script. Lovely Ferrari script. And then you just got some things for then you got the air intakes. And then some extra vintage to let the hot air out. Killing two birds with one stone. Cool air in, hot air out. You got a little spoiler right there. Now, this is what we're going to do. Is finally, you know, gotten to showing off that engine. Have to remind myself not to stick my hand right up under there. But we finally got it open. And this thing is just simply incredible. It's just, you know, so much detail in there. And it's so realistic. I mean, Tomica Limited Vintage, if you got any experience with them, especially with these Ferraris, you know that they don't really make their engines too deep. But, you know, this one right here, you know, it got, you know, more than enough detail to make up for that. That is just, you know, something you can stare at, you know, all day long if you wanted to. I know I probably could if I let myself. But anyway, I got another thingamajig out. And I busted this, you know, baby out right there, which is my Ferrari BB 512 with that two-tone I was talking about a little bit earlier. Red up top and black on down, black on the bottom. Yeah, it got these ugly ass Tomica basic wheels, which is what they still make to this very day. You know, at this point, we basically accepted that as a Tomica trademark. But it's all good. But I'd have to say, you know, it ain't really too bad for something that's really showing its age. And I ain't just talking about, you know, the paint chips, you know, the flea bites on it. But yeah, it actually surprisingly matches up pretty well with this TLV, all things considered. I ain't by no means saying, it's comparable, but, given how, ancient this thing is and how recent, this one was done up, especially with, all the trimmings. This basic one ain't really, too shabby. So let's get into these tasty tidbits. This was originally from 1979. Wow. And my oldest sister, she was born in 79. So yeah, that's another little fun fact. This is a 1/62nd scale, which, is a little larger. But this TLV, it's in what you say in true 1/64th scale. So yeah, a little bit smaller, but packs a bigger punch in detail. But yeah, that's pretty awesome. Pretty nice. All right, let's check out, well, let's do this first. The front, just going over, these parts very quickly. The rear, on the license plate of this basic, it just says F066. So yeah, pretty nice, I'd say. All right, let's check out these engines. Yeah, actually something in there, a little bit. Like I said, not too deep, but they give you a little, little something down there. And I like how, on the basic, they kept the back glass, right there. Usually, castings of this age, they usually cut corners. But no, not Tomica. No siree, Bob. It's the same thing on the Tomica Limited Vintage. But I'm pretty sure y'all expected that already anyway. But around these parts, we don't leave no stone unturned. So we show everything. Oh yeah, these windshield wipers. Got to show them off too. Little bit of interior action. And all right, that pretty much just about does it. We pretty much went through everything. Really love the gaps on these Tomica Limited Vintages. Like, I like how tight those gaps are. If you didn't know, if you didn't notice, you wouldn't even think that this even had an opening part. So yeah, pretty nice. This one, it's done its diligence of service, for today. So hats off to this one. But we taking that off and giving that a bow, because it's all about this baby right here. As it should take all the limelight, because this thing is wonderful. like I had mentioned, I don't think I have even mentioned this, that this is not only just my first Berlinetta Boxer from Tomica Limited Vintage, but this is also my very first Ferrari, Tomica Limited Vintage Ferrari in red. So yeah, that if you're into Ferraris, and especially buy these TLVs, you know exactly what I'm talking about, because that's the most expensive color of them all. Just like the Hot Wheels, red Hot Wheels Ferraris, they are astronomically expensive too, prohibitively so a lot of times. But I basically lucked out and bought this from right around retail, about $50, which is what you would pay for it at retail. So yeah, got lucky right there. So anyway, thanks for watching. I really do appreciate it. Let me know if you enjoyed this video. I know it went on a little bit longer than I expected, but like I said, we got to do the thorough thing around Spider's diecast headquarters. So yeah, you're gonna be in for a ride. And oh yeah, I got some other stuff coming in, a few more pieces, so make sure you stay tuned for that. So anyway, I'm gonna send y'all off to do other things, so I'm gonna get my butt on out of here. I'll see y'all later, and probably stare at this thing a little bit longer before I put it up. All right, y'all. Have a good one.